everybody. I've got big news. My Patreon page has gotten a whole new look. For those who don't know, Patreon is a platform that lets fans support creators by becoming patrons, and in return, patrons gain access to awesome perks. I reinvest my Patreon funds directly into my platform, so this whole new setup, my backdrop, the lighting, the camera, all of it is because of my patrons. With that said, my new Patreon tiers are as follows. Cyborg lieutenants gain access to Cyborg Central, an exclusive Discord writing group hosted by me. This is where you can recruit beta readers and critique partners, you can ask writing, marketing, or publishing questions, or you can just shoot the shit with a bunch of other writers. Cyborg captains gain early access to my videos. Writing tips, discounts, giveaway announcements, all of it. You guys get to see it early. Next, we have Cyborg majors who gain access to my suggestion box, where they can directly request video topics. If I choose one of their suggestions, I will dedicate the video to them. Cyborg Colonels get to join me once a month for a private live stream. I will be going over all of my upcoming events as well as answering all of their questions. And Cyborg Generals get a monthly 5,000 word critique for any of their works in progress from yours truly. If you want to get in on the action, check out my Patreon. The link is listed below. We have a good time. And since we're on the topic, today's video is dedicated to one of my amazing longtime patrons, Jen Quinn. Jen Quinn is awesome. That's what I want to say. Woo! I am not good at this. Yeah, Jen Quinn is awesome. I love her. She's amazing. You're wonderful, Jen. Never leave me. A while back, I listed the 10 most common mistakes that writers make during the publishing and marketing process, and today, I am listing the 10 most common mistakes writers make during the writing process. So while they're writing. Jen had some questions about some of the mistakes writers make during the writing process. For example, how to get through that annoying middle section of your novel. So let's discuss it, shall we? I critique a lot of manuscripts via Patreon, and these are the issues that come up the most. Number 1, telling. This is the most common issue I see, and it's obvious why. Telling is a lot easier to do than showing. But 90% of the time, showing is the superior option. Don't just recount the events of the story. A book is supposed to be vivid and immersive. It's not impactful to tell the reader, they were best friends. She loved him like a brother. Instead, write their playful banter. Show their sibling-like bond through action and dialogue. No reader is gonna get invested in a romance if you simply state, he was madly in love with her. Describe how his heart races when she's near. Show how his mood shifts when she enters the room. Showing is much more evocative than telling. It creates clear pictures for the reader so they can see and feel what the character is experiencing. Number 2. Fluff. A lot of people get really freaked out when I say this, but if a scene doesn't drive the plot forward in any way, delete it. That's not to say that every scene needs to have a major plot point, but every scene should be relevant. If you can remove an entire scene and the story will continue with no issue whatsoever, then it's fluff, and it doesn't benefit you or your audience. But Jenna, this fluff is important. It provides character development. First of all, the definition of fluff is unimportant content. So there's that. Second, your characters should develop through the plot. You should be interweaving the development, growth, and relationships with the storyline itself. Get rid of the fluff because it's not doing you any favors. Number 3, commas. I get it, punctuation is hard, but it also literally pieces phrases together, so maybe figure it out. The good news is a lot of people don't understand commas, so if you got comma errors in your manuscript, some people might not even notice. The bad news is, if you're a punctuation stickler like myself, these kind of issues stand out like a sore thumb, and it'll make the reading experience very awkward. Unfortunately, commas are complicated. There are a lot of rules to remember, so many that I can't really list them all for you right now because we would be here all day and this video would be very boring. Instead, I've got a Grammarly blog link listed below. It's all about comma usage. It's super easy to follow, so read it. Number 4, lack of realism. I'm not saying you gotta eliminate things like wizards and dragons, but when it comes to real life shit, like relationships and dialogue, that needs to make logical sense. Your reader needs to believe that the protagonist and their love interest would realistically be attracted to one another, and you achieve this by creating chemistry. Your reader needs to believe that someone would realistically say the things that they're saying. And you achieve this by viewing your characters not as mere cogs in your machine, but as real people with thoughts and opinions and shit. You don't want your reader going through your story and thinking, people don't do this shit. Literally ever. And the solution is simple. Just go through your story and ask yourself, would this character realistically say or do these things in this moment? Would anyone say or do these things in this moment? If the answer is no, fix it. Number 5, adverbs. War breaks out whenever you mention adverbs. There's one camp that says you should never use them, and another that says they're 100% necessary. Then there's a bunch of people in the middle freaking out because they don't understand why this is a point of contention. First of all, calm the fuck down. They're words. It's not that deep. Second, this whole thing is really easy to navigate. Adverbs are just adjectives for verbs. They describe actions. The reason there's so much debate is because quite often, verbs are descriptive enough on their own. If someone is running, you don't need to say they're running fast because the act of running is fast. With that in mind, anytime you're tempted to use an adverb, look at the verb that it's describing. Is there a better, more powerful verb that eliminates the need for a descriptor? For example, say you said he walked slowly. Instead, you could have said he plodded or trudged. These are way more interesting verbs, they create a much better visual, and you get to delete the adverb. 75% of the time, the adverb isn't necessary, and for the other 25%, keep it. Let it do its thing. Number 6. Filter words. Filter words are words that filter the reader's experience through the main character's experience. Hence the name. See, hear, think, realize, feel. All filter words. Sometimes they're unavoidable, but most of the time they're unnecessary. They just distance the reader from the story and the actions. But fortunately, filter words are super easy to eliminate. For example, say you wrote the sentence, I felt grass crunch beneath my feet. Instead, you can simply write it as, grass crunched beneath my feet. This will allow the reader to feel like they're right beside your protagonist, experiencing the story firsthand. Number 7, the try-hard hook. There's a lot of pressure on writers to hook the readers with the first sentence. But the thing is, I've never been hooked by a first sentence, and I don't know anyone who has. Because of this, a lot of writers try too damn hard to make the first sentence a shock to the senses. And this results in a sentence that's over the top and cheesy. I've read hooks where the sunset was compared to the color of cat vomit. I've read hooks that were loaded with every curse word imaginable just to rile up the reader. I love cursing, but that's a gimmick and we know what you're doing. And 9 times out of 10, the cheesiest try-hard hooks will involve some kind of metaphor. Here's a pro tip. If your first sentence begins something like, the protagonist or setting was as blank as a blank, maybe rethink your approach. Number 8, absolutely no hook. You don't need to punch your reader in the face with the first sentence, but at the very least, your first page should be interesting and engaging. An info dump is not interesting. Backstory is not interesting. And telling instead of showing on the first page is a one-way ticket to a DNF. If you're not sure how to start your book, here's a simple solution. Start at the beginning of the plot. 9 times out of 10, a story will include some type of problem that kicks off the inciting incident. So start your book with the problem. If the plot doesn't begin until several chapters into the book, trust me, no one's gonna wait that long. Number 9, sagging middle syndrome. Sagging middle syndrome is when the middle of your book is boring. You got an awesome inciting incident, you've got a badass climax, but the shit that connects these 2 points sucks ass. Typically this happens when the author doesn't outline their novel, and if they did, it wasn't with enough detail or structure. There are several structural elements that occur between the inciting incident and the climax, and this includes the complication, the crisis, and the breaking point. The complication is when whatever problem the main character is navigating gets worse, and it's possible to have multiple complications throughout the entirety of a novel. The crisis is also known as the mini-climax. Basically, something really bad happens. And then there's the breaking point, which is when it seems like all hope is lost. This can sometimes be in conjunction with the crisis or a result of the crisis. And number 10, purple prose. We all want our prose to be beautiful, but if your reader was here for poetry, they wouldn't have picked up a novel. Here's the thing, certain moments lend themselves to beautiful language. Others don't, at all. If you're artfully describing a window or a bath, maybe take it down a notch. And if your language is so ornate that readers struggle to understand what's going on, that's an issue. Your goal as a novelist should be to tell an interesting, engaging story. And readers can't be engaged if they're spending half their time deciphering whatever the fuck you're trying to say. Beautiful language is wonderful, but clarity is far more important. And these things can coexist if you avoid purple prose. So that's all I got for you today. These are the 10 most common mistakes that I see during critiques. It's nothing to be embarrassed about, and even better, all of it is fixable. A huge thank you to Jen for requesting this topic. If you'd like the chance to have a video dedicated to you, or if you want access to any of my new and improved rewards, including access to Cyborg Central, early access to my videos, live streaming with yours truly, or a 5,000 word critique once a month, definitely become a patron today. The link is listed below. We have lots of fun. It's a good time. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Wednesdays, and if you want to be alerted as soon as I upload, you gotta ring that bell because I have bonus content. So you need to know when it goes live. The Savior's Champion is available in ebook and hardback. If you haven't picked it up yet, you totally should. It's available all over the place. I got a million links listed below. Get on it. And be sure to follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, and of course you can tweet me at Jenna Moreci. Bye!